Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.
Hello, I'm Lawrence Owen, and this is another NFL update. So, as everybody already knows, the Indianapolis Colts went out and got their guy, Phillip Rivers from the San Diego Chargers, because Frank Reich and all of them had all of this history with Phillip Rivers. You know, he was the offensive coordinator, Frank Reich was, for the Chargers a few years back before he was with Philadelphia. So, yeah, they got who they wanted. But what if they hadn't got him? What if Rivers was like, you know what? I don't want to move to a cold area. I've been playing for the Chargers this whole time. I live in Florida. Why do I want to go to Indy and play in some cold area? Luckily for the Colts, he decided to go ahead and sign this one-year contract. Maybe last longer depending upon how long, how well he does this season. But Frank Reich and Chris Ballard had a backup plan just in case Phillip Rivers was not going to sign. Now, was that backup plan Tom Brady? No. Was that backup plan Cam Newton? No. Was that backup plan Teddy Bridgewater? No. Was that backup plan Jameis Winston? No. So who in the world was out there that they were... No, that's right. The Indianapolis Colts were prepared to trade for Andy Dalton. You know, the guy who now plays for the Dallas Cowboys. They were going to trade for him had Phillip Rivers not signed a contract with the Indianapolis Colts. Now, as all of you know, Andy Dalton did not get traded at all by anyone and actually was released by the Cincinnati Bengals, and there in which he went straight to the Dallas Cowboys. So that brings the question, what would it have cost to get Andy Dalton in a trade? A 7th round pick? Now, I am fully for sure that Bengals would have wanted more than a 7th round pick, but at least they would have gotten something from him had they made a trade, right? I mean, come on. And I'm sure Frank Reich and Chris Ballard's like, you know what? We could trade a 7th round pick to have a starter on our team. A lot of people are out there going, no way. Andy Dalton is awful. Why would you want Andy Dalton starting? A lot of Colts fans are going to be like that. And I'm telling you what, there's going to be people that's going to completely hate the idea of any quarterback whose name is not Andrew Luck being on the Indianapolis Colts at this point in time. Now, I mean, that's just facts. That's how we're going to deal with life right now. People are going to say, no, they don't want Jameis Winston because he throws too many interceptions. They're going to say, no, you don't want Cameron Newton because he makes bad decisions as well, plus he's hurt and blah, blah, blah. You don't want Tom Brady because, well, you know why the Colts fans don't want Tom Brady. Teddy Bridgewater was just a backup. You know, a lot of people didn't want him either because he's not a proven guy. Andy Dalton couldn't succeed in Cincinnati. No offensive line. A running game who just started with Joe Mixon just the last year. Has had one wide receiver his entire career, basically. And the best coach that he's had is Marv Lewis. I would think that Andy Dalton would actually succeed pretty darn well behind this kind of... I mean, Dalton is very similar to Rivers, only younger. Still has a strong arm. You know? And with weapons and an offensive line and a dual threat running game, Dalton would be dangerous behind this Colts offensive line. Period. But this is all what if. This is not something that's actually going down, right? This is all something that isn't going to happen because Dalton is down there in Dallas now going, ha, Dak, look who's behind you. And if you want to continue to sit here and hold out and say, hey, I want my paycheck, there's a good chance Jerry Jones just might be like, we have Andy Dalton for peanuts. Peanuts. And instead, the Colts have Phillip Rivers and keeping Jacoby Brissett as a backup. So it's interesting. They value Jacoby Brissett more than Andy Dalton. Now, if you talk to any Indianapolis Colts fan, as much as most of them would dislike Andy Dalton, they'd still take him over Jacoby Brissett, which is scary. Now, I'm not one of those Colts fans. I think Jacoby didn't get a fair shot because there was too many injuries on the offense, especially to guys he was throwing to. Plus, his knee went bad during the Steelers game, and nothing looked the same the rest of the season. Yes, he was a check down type quarterback, but he was a game manager that wasn't turning the ball over, had a very high completion percentage. He was game managing, and they were leaning on the run game. Guess what? We have Phillip Rivers. The Indianapolis Colts are going to do what? They're going to be game managing and leaning on the run game. Same difference. The only difference is Jacoby Brissett could get out of trouble 6,000 times easier than what Phillip Rivers can. But Phillip Rivers throws a much more catchable football than what Jacoby Brissett does. So, you got to take the good with the bad, right? That's just how it all works in the NFL. I want to say, Carbro Landing, thanks for joining the stream here on Sportscaster. I appreciate you being here. By the way, if you are watching on Sportscaster, or there's other people that might be interested, that you're watching somewhere else, feel free, come to Sportscaster, check us out. Always give me a follow. Hit the like button down there below me. If you follow me, you'll be notified next time I go live for important NFL news updates. Well, I want to thank everyone that's joined me here. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. And as usual, I want you to have a good one.